And that's a question for me, as we've talked about. They knew how dangerous it was. Did they know how dangerous it was that day? Is kind of a bigger question that encapsulates everything about Challenger, which is, yes, there were those known risks, but that day, because of how cold it was, because of how everything was happening with the O-rings, did these astronauts know how dangerous it was going to be that day?
No, they didn't, because the truth is that although they knew that the shuttle itself was an extremely risky system and that spaceflight is a very dangerous enterprise, they had not been specifically informed about the dangers of the solid rockets and the joints in the solid rockets. You know, in the aftermath of the accident, once the investigation began, the surviving astronauts began to find out about the history of these solid rocket boosters and how dangerous they'd been known to be for a long time. And they were furious. And but they weren't furious because they thought that the space shuttle was, you know, an extremely safe spacecraft. They were furious because other people had known about a specific risk that they had not informed them of. And the truth is that many of them have said in the years since, or some of them have said in the years since, that even had they known about the risk of the solid rocket boosters, they would still have opted to have flown because they knew that it was a risky enterprise and that's part of the job. And they wanted to fly into space. They were angry about the fact that they were not fully apprised of the nature of the risks. And so that was the problem, not the fact that they thought that it was safe and they found out afterwards that it was risky. It was just, we know we're taking risks. Tell us what they are. And that's what they were angry about.